and welcome to the KOFISI Connect podcast, your source for a wealth of roundtable discussions on the workplace and business, as well as cultural news and trends from the diverse and dynamic continent of Africa. I'm your host, Georgia Webber, and today I'm very pleased to introduce KOFISI CEO and Founder Michael Aldridge to our studio.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hello, Michael. Thanks for joining us.
No problems.
So 2024 has been all about growth for KOFISI. What would you say have been the kind of most significant milestones or achievements that have defined the year?
Oh, that's great. And we're really delighted by 2024. It's been another big year for the brand and for its expansion. And it was very much part of our plan to grow this year. I think we've seen tremendous growth in current clients actually opening up inside the same locations. Right. So that's actually, I think there was over 30% of the growth from this year has come from current locations expanding, which is really exciting.
So those are in Nairobi or?
They're across the market, predominantly Nairobi, and we've seen nearly every location has grown, which is great. And then we've also added new countries as well.
Which ones are they?
That's Casablanca, which is actually opening this week, which is full from the start. It's a 45,000 square foot location, and we're delighted. We've got our new member of the family, TikTok, which is really, really wonderful.
Another global MNC joining KOFISI. Congratulations.
Yeah. And I think that's part of our ambition, as we said at the beginning of the year, for creating the continental network. We have 3 more countries, which we can talk a bit later on about. But, a lot of the pre-work goes into those locations in the years before you're actually open. So we've actually there's some amounts of the growth that you don't get to enjoy yet, but we're working on those. We'll talk about those countries a little bit later. I think the other big part of growth for us has been the proposition in terms of what we've provided for members. We've seen a much wider range of events this year. We've had over 35 events across the continent, and that will only grow. We've got bigger teams on those activities and a much bigger range of things that are being delivered in a much more improved partnership model that we've been working through to actually really increase the experience for the members.
Amazing. What does it actually mean for members when you sort of talk about continental expansion? I mean, they've got more access to greater square footage of workspace.
Well, there's obviously that. I mean, we've created through the Workshop 17 UniKey program, we've created the largest network across the continent, which gives you amazing access to space. It's unparalleled in that way. Mm-hmm. But what we're then doing is we're wanting to add the most dynamic markets that are not in that network we'd like to add to. So then that creates a bigger landing point for inbound enterprise, which is great for each of the markets that they operate in. But it also offers a framework for all of our clients to be able to expand easily through those markets as they think themselves cross-border.
And that's great validation for the KOFISI product in that existing members are choosing KOFISI to look after their workspace in other locations. Yeah.
There's the concept of being in multi-country varies by company, but having certain locations also encourages new companies to come in. Their strategies will often be very specific to the sector that they're in and the work that they think is necessary for them. But also, like, the other thing that we've done is really grown our eventing capacity. It's a business that we're really excited about. It's grown by 10 times in size over the last 2 years. And that also allows us to bring in a lot more partner companies to actually use the spaces for the day for various types of events, from a 4-man lunch all the way up to a 350-person event. And we're adding really dynamic training facilities over the next 12 months as well. So we think that what we're providing is an ecosystem. It's a lot of sophisticated space that creates that inspiration for you, whether it's for one day or it's for 3 years, whether it's for 10 people or whether it's for 300. That interaction inside that location, inside the city, inside the continent, we're just there to make sure that all of our users are getting highly productive environments to be able to really deliver on their goal.
And I think something that sets KOFISI apart from kind of a traditional, well, let's say a hotel kind of environment, is that very sort of personalised offering. I mean, we had great partnerships with AMI, I think, this year, and then ITM as well. And they're really able to sort of, our events team is really able to create that kind of bespoke event, as well as providing access for our members to those kinds of companies and offering.
100% correct. And I think that customized is something that we are very strong on, whether it be for your permanent space or for your actual event. And, going forwards, we're going to be doing a lot more work on customized member experiences inside the spaces, which we're really focused on from the innovation side.
Great. So growth not only in office space, but also event capabilities.
100%.
So how would you say this growth is kind of contributing to the narrative generally about the workplace sector, not only on the continent in Africa, but globally?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. The narrative around the workspace environment is different and nuanced by continent, but I think there are some common strengths that are bubbling to the surface, as it were. I think this desire by individuals and companies to have high service space is agnostic to market, even in markets which have struggled with high vacancy rates in commercial spaces. Those buildings that are highly serviced are really working. And so I think that we've really added to the credibility of that data, that largely because, what you'll find in the African environment is that people want to leapfrog over the legacy ideas. And so we feel that flight to quality is to the highly serviced environments, which is something that we believe that we've led in. So I think we're really excited about being able to be part of that debate of what we kind of call the 3.0 model, post-COVID, post-WeWorks attempts. You've seen a real demand for that hospitality-driven environment, and it's a thing that we believe, or a process that we believe is a continued journey to actually have the best kind of service experience inside those spaces.
Because kind of hotelification, I think, was almost a buzzword kind of 2 years ago, and now it is a solid appreciation of a kind of hotel-ified workplace.
Yeah, I think it's the right mentality to have, and I think we spent this year campaigning a lot about how the workspace in its service model, highly service 3.0 model, should be considered as a new asset class in the hospitality sector. And I think that's an important point for investors or for users, is to actually see it's maturing as an asset class, and therefore it can be compared to the propositions of hotels.
Which kind of leads me to my second question, because obviously the workplace environment is constantly evolving. And so 2025, what post this great growth phase in 2024, what are your sort of goals and priorities?
Well, I think just in the theme of the idea of a journey, not a destination for our expansion and our service ambition, we will continue to invest in creating the best experience possible for the users. And that's done with just very dedicated and highly technical teams. We've built out our training academy to be able to really invest in the skills of our team. And, we're scaling at quite a rate. Therefore, there's more and more people that we want to be able to put through that program. So that's one big part of it. And the results of that, as we thank everyone who is listening for their votes for the awards that we won this year for the
congratulations.
Yeah, for the SBID Interior Design Award, which is just, it's really cool for the continent as much as it is for us. I mean, the teams have worked very hard to get to that level of understanding, but I think getting the recognition versus the rest of the world was a big moment for us. I think we talk about ourselves as being space scientists, because because that's what we do. And I think that knowing that KOFISI is there with having your back on that area allows you as a company to be able to operate in a much more controlled and reliable format. So I think this whole journey of service and hospitality is something that we will continue to grow on. ESG is a very big part of what we, that we're about. We're very proud of our social metrics, CSR metrics, and also environmental. We've just completed our audit and of our environmental and sustainability goals, which we're really delighted with the outputs, and we have big things we're going to be doing next year. But like, for example, this year we saved 1 million cups of disposable cups that could have been used for coffee, rather than the fact that we use crockery. Obviously, no single-use plastics, filtered water. We're now bringing in a lot more energy, more energy considerations around the way the power can be zonalized. So there's lots of things that we're doing, and as we're going into new buildings, we're really informing that direction as well with the landlords and the real estate owners. As we're taking bigger and bigger spaces, we're able to affect that more. So ESG is a big part of it, but that will translate into ultimately the hard space. You're going to see some really exciting facilities that are coming out.
Great.
Yeah, we've been working on. There's a new club floor that's launching at KOFISI 9, where we are today, which is like nothing that's been done in the market. We're very excited about that. It's a 12,000 square foot space that will be available with roof terraces, and I think it will be super dynamic and another centre of gravity for the city. We're adding some more dynamic training and screening room facilities. So we're amplifying our media capacity. We're amplifying our training capacity, which I know that's something that's great for you in your area. And then also the diversity of services will increase through our wellness capacity in our new building, which will see 8,000 square feet of wellness capacity, as well as some of the older buildings having smaller propositions added in to give that dimension of the day to all members. And in all of our new locations going forward, that's something that will be added. So talking of new locations, we want to continue to join up the dots around the continent with 3 new countries on the horizon. We're deeply invested in our plans for Ghana. We're very interested in our openings for Addis and Ethiopia, and of course Cairo, which will be an extension of what we've already achieved in the north this year. That's next to the fact that we will open more buildings in each city with over 1 million square feet of space that we're actually in discussion over, because we believe the demand is there and we can provide a service and a facilities experience that's second to none, and that's driving that growth.
And there are some exciting new offerings for tech as well. I understand.
Yeah, tech is, I think, like 2 or maybe 3 things I'd like to talk about for 2025. One is tech, the other is the member programs, but also the third is a potential for us being in a second continent. And so we take each one of those. Technology is an area that we really want to delve deeper into. We already have a lot of integrated technology, but we want to start bringing more of that tech powered experience, that frictionless
for the members.
Yeah. And that's working with our amazing partners at Workshop 17. We're going to be bringing in some really dynamic new systems, which we're very excited about, and will be a big part of 2025's plan. We're also looking at customized membership programs, so that because our client base quite often has a large critical mass of people, we want to start working in a more collaborative way about how the programming can fit to the members' requirements for that corporate. And so it's less about trying to, like, I often refer to it sort of the inefficiencies of how people connected in the 80s versus how easy it is for you to be able to be connected to the right person today. We want to make sure that our member programming is actually fitting what's required by our clients. And that's an important distinction to the way KOFISI works to the way other co-working provider might operate. And so we're excited about that program that's being developed by the product team, And finally, we wanted to talk about our capacity to enter new markets outside of the continent of Africa. We are pretty progressed in some ideas. We can't say too much at the moment, but we think that this is a great moment for all of the work that the team does internally. But I think that our proposition can work in other markets outside of Africa, and we've had a great response to our ideas. But it's something that is a very much watch this space situation at the moment. But it's, as the founder of the company, I'm very proud that we've reached that stage, and I feel as though this will be another great example of what's possible with the team that we've created here and the amazing capacity of African hospitality.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on a
Thank you.
brilliant year, and looking forward to interviewing you next year.
Yeah,
when you can
talk about
open the lid on some of those
things.
continents.
Yeah. No, I think it is great, and I want to say thank you to the members for all of their continued loyalty to what we're providing. And we are here to make sure that the members have a great day every day, and the values of that are very much part of the team. I also thank for all of their hard work. It takes a lot to make these things work and happen, and I'm blessed to be surrounded by some really brilliant people, and I think that's what's making KOFISI great. And I think the journey is only just starting still.
Exciting. KOFISI CEO and Founder Michael Aldridge, thank you very much.
Thank you.